For this week's Access Code, we head to the West Bank to Gretna, which is the Jefferson Parish seat. Zip code 70053 runs into the Mississippi River on the northwest side. From there, it goes southeast all the way down to 35th Street. The area is mainly bordered on the east by Whitney Avenue. The zip code also contains Terrytown. The population is nearly 18,000 people with a median age of 34 years. The area just over 7 total square miles, and the majority of the housing was built in the 1960s. Here's this week's Access Code. There's so much growth going on in downtown Gretna. Once vibrant, when gambling was outlawed and the oil industry had a downturn in the early 80s, businesses downtown closed and residents started moving to the suburbs. But that's changing.
Post-Katrina, feeling this incredible resurgence of people wanting to move back to the way of life that made this place vibrant in the 50s.
The focal point, City Hall, just got a facelift with fresh paint and landscaping. And restaurants no longer close after the lunch rush. Tauntaun started the movement.
Willing to take a chance on a downtown that had no nightlife. And they opened up for dinner and stayed open on weekends and on Sundays for brunch, and truly the rest is history.
Companies are starting to take notice and investing in Gretna. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust bought an entire building across the street from City Hall. They have the bank and support departments downstairs, and they also invested in residential, building 6 lofts upstairs, complete with a rooftop deck, kitchen, and common area. They've also rented out a space that will be a wine bar.
There's a whole trend now of urban living. And what we're seeing, we're a big mortgage lender, but we see both older people and young people want the same thing. They want an interesting neighborhood where they can park the car and walk. Well, Gretna is not something you would immediately think of for urban living, but it meets all the requirements because downtown Gretna has coffee shops, it has restaurants. On Saturday, there's a wonderful farmer's market. If you haven't been here, great barbecue. And the levee is right here. Every Friday night, there's a bike ride, there's a pub crawl.
Williams Bank is the largest private employer in Gretna. On a smaller scale, Moret's Italian Bakery and Cafe opened in 2016. And a New Orleans boutique finally gave in to request and is reaping the benefits.
What really puts us on the map, I think, is near and dear to my heart is Flirty Girl. I mean, what a success story. You know, a place, we lobbied her along with a local business, lobbied her for 3 years to try to get her to take a chance on Gretna. And she finally has.
And it's just the feel you get when you drive down Huey P. Long Avenue. Mayor Belinda Constant credits the Historic Preservation Committee, who has strict guidelines for properties in the historic district. So the streetscape stays reminiscent of what it's always been in Gretna. Mayor Constant feels confident that downtown Gretna is up and running with the pieces in place to sustain success. So now they're focusing on improving other parts of the city. Gretna was just awarded funding from LA Safe, one of 10 flood resilience projects announced by Governor John Bel Edwards. And the mayor is investing in what they call the 25th Street Resilience District on the south side of the expressway, which is vulnerable to flooding.
People were afforded an opportunity post-Katrina to raise properties because of the flood zone or the zone that the area is in. And in most cases, it's still an expensive process. People, quite frankly, couldn't afford to raise the properties.
Mayor Constant is hoping to leverage the grant with other federal funding and transform the neighborhood. She says there's about 1,000 properties that would benefit. Her team is also focusing on Gretna City Park, which is 78 acres. The plan is to improve flood mitigation, but at the same time, meet the demand for recreational needs in the area.
Take the opportunity to address water management, flood management, quality of life, green infrastructure programs.
As the mayor's office works to improve Gretna, they hope to also set a model for Jefferson Parish and governments throughout the state. And the mayor also credited Denise Ponce, who's in charge of a lot of the programming, the farmers market, the art walk, and that's really kind of given it a community feel right downtown.
Yeah, and they do Gretna Fest every year, which is, they put on a wonderful show.
Yeah, we usually go out there and do a nice preview.
Yeah, no, I've been to that several times.
I have not been, so I'll definitely have to
go.
go.
Oh, it's fun. They bring in some big acts, too.
Wonderful. All right, guys, and if you want me to showcase your zip code, send me an email with your ideas to lspoon@wwltv.com. I'd love to hear from you.